Give me a player facing a make or break season on the 49ers.
Oh, make him break. That's the easiest one. Mike McGlinchey. Mike
Sure.
McGlinchey, keep harping on him. It's so easy to pick on him. But I mean, it's true. You know, he missed the season, torn quad, final year of his deal he's entering right now. He needs to salvage something, not even just to get re-signed by the foreign, just for the league. Because if he's average or even flames out, are we looking at best a rotational offensive lineman for next year, next 2 years? That's probably what's going to happen. He's going to have to end up probably being a Tom Compton reclamation project, or he's going to have to be rotational, slide in, and then show he can be starting caliber, then bring his value back up. But that's the one who you really got to, it's make it or break it. It's, because if he's not that good next or this upcoming season, you're the 49ers. You're really going to extend that? Do we really want to give this guy adequate money to protect our young quarterback? They really need him. Honestly, the 49ers really need him to pan out. So now he doesn't need to make it for himself. The 49ers need him to pan out, because that's the last thing you want, is to start looking for another offensive lineman player. You've already, for like every year of the last 2-3 years now, the 49ers have been looking for key offensive linemen. Started with Staley. They lucked out with Trent Williams. Now you're looking at center again for 2 years in a row with Alex Mack retired. And then if you lose right tackle at McGlinchey, you can even argue like in Thompson degree, but guard's a little bit more easier to find a plug-and-play player. But those are the three key to me, the tackles and the centers. So you're going to go for 3 straight seasons looking for key players. So for God's sakes, please, McGlinchey, just be solid, a little more, like almost above average. And as long as you can hold your own pass player and not be that player who gives up the clutch play, you'll be looking great for a nice payout by the 49ers, or at least someone. But hopefully it is the 49ers take their own, because they really need to hold on to that tackle play.
Yeah. He's coming off a really serious injury, and he's in a lame duck year. They haven't extended him. Everyone's like, oh, you got to extend Debo, you got to extend Bosa. No one's like, you got to extend McGlinchey. Oh. I mean, he's got to show something. It's his 5th year. They picked up his 5th year option. He's going to be one of the more expensive players in the team this year. And like, I never thought he was great before he went down. Like, he's better than certain right tackles in the league. Whoever the Raiders have, who's that dude the Raiders have from Alabama? A right tackle?
Alex Leatherwood.
Yeah, he's trash.
Yeah, he's bad.
McGlinchey is better than Leatherwood. But I mean, he was serviceable. And his problem was in 2020, he got ran over. In 2021, he came in bigger and didn't get run over as much. But I thought he lost a lot of what made him good as a run blocker, like a lot of his mobility. That was gone. And all of a sudden, when he went down and Tom Compton came in, their run game took off because Compton was – anyway. McGlinchey's a big one. There's also a real obvious one on defense that I don't really want to say. Can you do it for me, please?
Javon Kinlaw?
Yeah, I mean, you want to take that?
I mean, hey, look, I was the one who wrote it. The player facing the most pressure on defense was Kinlaw, and it's because, look, when you're he wasn't top 10 pick, top 15 pick, 13 overall, 14 overall, 13, whatever, like top 15 pick.
Yeah.
And in the wake of the DeForest Buckner trade, and I remember that's like, God, this guy's forever going to be compared no matter what. It doesn't matter.
And that's not his fault. But that's the reality. The Niners' fault. Yeah.
And like, I still remember us texting when that trade happened, because I had the article already pre-written out that it might have been Kinlaw, and saying like, good player who has a high ceiling, still raw, but man, a little bit knee concerns. And I think the biggest concern to me is that he has to step into DeForest Buckner's situation, because now you're trading him, and he's been completely far. Yeah. Now there's no excuses. Look, you seem healthy, great. You don't have DJ Jones to cover up anymore. It's time for him to step up. Fingers crossed, first of all, just good bill of health. And I think at this point, the Niners will just be happy with this is a guy who is healthy week in and week out and is just solid. Maybe not even worth the necessary like top 20 pick, top 15 pick. That's like, at that point, you really want him to be a game breaker, a game wrecking player. But as long as he makes this as a few impact plays a game, just someone who's solid, who can be there, stuff the run, and like maybe a couple of pass rushing plays here, you're solid. You'll take that. All of a sudden, it feels like it's a win after the early hand he's been dealt with. Just pretty much, he's been gone. He hasn't been there, and it sucks. But now, if you get him healthy, you get him there, impact player, boom! All of a sudden, you're looking for extension for the future.
Yes, but I mean, the reason that he's under so much pressure this season is, again, he has to convince them to pick up the 5th year option.
Yeah,
I mean, that's on the table, right? He hasn't locked that in yet.
I think that's warranted on the health, basically. I think that's why if he just shows health, I think that's what they'll like.
He's got to be good.
He has to be almost a solid player, just as long as like, okay, he was healthy, and we saw improvement in his gameplay throughout the year. And then
I mean, forget an extension. There's a
a
possibility they don't pick up the 5th-year option. Like that's a lot of pressure.
I think they'll pick it up because they don't want to make themselves look stupid for the Buckner trade again. They
didn't pick up Solomon Thomas.
You didn't pick it up, but again, that's only if he's healthy. It's only if he's healthy and decent.
Right.
I'm
not saying he won't. He'll have a break it. I'm not saying he won't come through, but if you really think about all the pressure on Javon Kinlaw's shoulders right now, it's a lot. It's a ton. It might be the most on the team, although McGlinchey's in the running too.